bringing the people behind our food to life.
I think one of the reasons that the artisan bread movement is really taking off or is really popular now is that people really want to have a connection to their food. And so to make their own bread with something that's so basic as that is really appealing to people. One of the things that is a challenge for people at home is to find the time to make bread. So one of the things that I talked about in the bread making process is the fermentation. And it's actually that the long fermentation time and extended fermentation time, and we're talking hours, for people to have that patience, I think that's one of the challenges. Another thing is the amount of water. So people at home tend to, they think the dough is really sticky, and so they add more flour, and then that ends up with kind of a dense loaf. And so if you can use a technique like the no knead technique, where we're using a good amount of water in the dough, not manipulating it too much, you're actually going to have a really nice product. Now, one of the challenges for home bakers is having the right oven. The type of oven we use here is called a deck oven. So we have a hearth that the bread gets deposited on, and this really intense heat gives us a really nice spring in the bread. The other thing is that when we put the bread in the oven, there's steam that gets injected into the oven. So that creates a really nice, moist, warm environment for the bread to rise in. We have to have a wet environment in the oven so that the crust doesn't set immediately. So putting bread into a hot, dry oven, the crust will set, and so it has nowhere to go. And that's why people have trouble with kind of irregular loaves or things that don't necessarily look the best. So there are a couple techniques that we recommend for that. One is introducing steam with a spray bottle or some ice right when you put the bread in the oven. The other that works really well, I use an enameled cast iron pot. So I actually preheat a cast iron Dutch oven, and then you can deposit the bread in the hot Dutch oven, put the lid back on. The bread creates its own steam, so you actually get a really nice, beautiful loaf. I think if you know a little bit more about what makes artisan bread special or unique, for instance, using the right amount of water, using that extended fermentation technique, not kneading too much or adding extra flour, and then baking it in a proper way, you can actually have really good results at home.